In this video, we will have a discussion about dictionary data type. Dictionary is a very important data type and it can store values along with a key. So the retrieval of the information is very fast and easy. I will show you how we can create a dictionary, add elements, retrieve them and delete them. These are some basic operations on a dictionary data type, and then we will perform a simple task using dictionaries. So first let's create a dictionary. I will say DICT. I think it is a keyword, so I will not use this. Let's say DCT. And then the syntax is we need to use the curly brackets, and then the first value will be a key, then a colon, and the corresponding value to this key. Let's say apple, and then comma for second element, then 2, I'll say 2, and then orange, and third I will say mango. So here we have created a dictionary of 3 elements. Let's try to access one element, and as DCT, and then say 2. You must be wondering that how a dictionary is different from a list. So I will tell you that these keys can also be a string, and when these keys can be a string, it will be much more easier to access the data using the dictionary. So let's see another example. This time I will use these fruits name as key, and then I will assign some quantity to it. Let's say 24, and then oranges, for example, I have 30, and then mangoes I have 12. So if I need to find out how many mangoes I have, then I will say mango, and then it will give me this. So the very basic difference between a list and a dictionary is list uses index numbers which are in always in an ascending order, but the dictionary keys can be in any order, and it can be a string or a numerical value. That's why it is more easier to access the data from a dictionary. I can also create an empty dictionary. Let's say this is my empty dictionary which has 0 elements, and then if I want to move one element to this dictionary, then I will use update function, and then I will assign some value like 50, and you can see that one element has been inserted into this dictionary. There is one more method to do that. For example, mango, and one more element has been inserted. Let's see if the updation of an element also works. Say 30. Yes, we can also update the elements of a dictionary. We can also pop out an element like this, DCTEM, and then dot pop and say mangoes. As you can see, the value has been removed from this dictionary, and has been the value of this key has been assigned to a new variable el. There is another way to delete an element, del the city em apple. Just like we can delete any other variable in Python. I think there is one more function, clear, to delete all the elements of a dictionary. Let's say dct dot clear. Yes, the clear function will delete all the elements in a dictionary. So these were some basic operations on a dictionary. Let's move to our tasks that we were going to perform. So the task is, you have a record of n students. Each record contains the student's name and their percent marks in maths, physics and chemistry. The marks can be floating values. The user enters some value, some integer n, followed by the names and marks for n students. You are required to save the record in a dictionary type. The user then enters a student's name, output the average percentage marks obtained by that student, correct to the 2 decimal places. So this is our sample input. The first one is integer n, and then if it is 3, then number of students marks, names and marks, and then at last we will provide the one student's name and his average will be calculated here. So first we need to take this input, and then we will typecast this to integer, and then I will put a for loop for I in range this, so that we can call the input function 3 times. I will replace this I with an underscore because we do not need to use the index here. And then input, I will use the list comprehension again. This will be the list of inputs like this. If it is the case, then it will be a list of these 3 inputs. And then I will again apply a for loop here for I in this list. So if we try to imagine the situation here, then at this statement these inputs have already been taken and we have applied a for loop. So each element will be iterated one by one. So here I will use a for loop, but before that I need to create an empty dictionary, let's say marks, and then I will enter each element into this empty dictionary after each iteration. So first we need to take the name as the key and a list of 3 integers as the marks, which will be assigned to that key in a dictionary. So let's say I, we need to split this I, and the first element will be the name, and after that we need to provide the list of marks. So I will use this, and then here I am using 2 sublists. The first one is which will contain this element, only name, and this list will contain these marks in string format. So I will typecast this using list comprehension. So let's say float, because this can be a floating point number, and let's say for j in this list, j here, and this will be our one element of our dictionary, and we will use update function to add this element to our empty dictionary. At this moment all the records have been inserted into this dictionary marks in their appropriate data type. So next is we need to take one input for this name, say input, and then I will assign this to a variable name, and then I need to calculate the marks of this candidate. So let's see if it is an average or percentage, whatever we call it. So we will access the list of these candidates first. So let's say marks name, this will give me the list of, and then I will sum this, and then I will calculate how many elements are available in this list, and then I will assign this value to avg variable. This will give me the sum divided by this will give me the total numbers, so it will be the average. Because Python language does not have a native function for average, that's why we are using this statement. Then we will print our result, but we will not print it directly, we will use the string formatting, and our string will be a 2 decimal floating point number. So the code has been completed. Let's try if this works. I'll say 2 5 53 55 66 55. Then as you can see, we have created this list, sorry, dictionary. We have created this dictionary which has all the elements that we have provided, and as a result we got the average marks. So this was a very basic example how we can implement dictionary, and as you can see, it was very easier to get the marks of a student using dictionary. And you can see that if these marks were stored in a list, then we were required to perform a for loop or while loop statement to get that marks, but in dictionary we can directly provide the key and get the result. So this is all for this video, and thanks for watching.